Good afternoon, everybody. I'm at Riverview, and it's absolutely gorgeous day. I've been waiting for this day for at least 2 weeks. We've had nothing but crappy weather, which is pretty typical for here this time of year. And the forecast looks like it's going to be nice all week, which is a bonus. So anyways, why am I here today? Well, I was here 2-3 weeks ago, and I passed by this tree over here, and really wanted to photograph it. The light was hitting it just right. Wanted to come back the next day, but 2 weeks later, here I am, finally. That's okay, I had lots of time to think about it, and I could think about how I was going to approach this composition, what format I'm going to use. Initially, I was going to use 8x10, but I thought, you know what, I've got tons of 4x5 film, I should use it. And speaking of 4x5, I've got a couple of boxes of Fomapan 400, and I've never ever shot Fomapan before, ever. So I thought this is probably a good opportunity to use it untested. I'm sure I'll be okay. I mean, I've got several holders loaded with it, so I can, shoot it at EI 200 and just see how it goes. It's funny, I found this film in the freezer and wondered, why did I buy this? And so I went online and checked, oh yeah, it has extended red sensitivity. Then it climbs up and then drops at 700 nanometers, which is deep into the red. The other reason why I'm here and want to make this video is, ta-da! Look at this, folks. I have a new viewfinder window. Yes, I finally got rid of the other one. Well, it's actually in here. I don't know why. I just forgot to throw it out. I had that thing for 30 years. Can you believe that? It's tattered and falling apart. It was an utter embarrassment. So this is the cheapest bit of gear that I own. It helps me suss out my composition, and it also tells me where to place the tripod, and it also tells me which focal length lens I should use. So I want to photograph it from that angle, from the angle that you guys are viewing it at, with the sun in behind the tree, so that all the moss is backlit and glowing. I'm going to use this to figure out the composition exactly, where I'm going to put the tripod, and which lens I should use, which focal length lens. So I can hold it horizontally, and I really like those sort of looping branches. It's almost got like a face. It's almost like a face, like eyes staring. So probably about my knees slightly bent, and about there. That's about 30 centimeters, around 300 millimeters, close to that. Might even be shorter than 300, maybe 240, maybe I'll put the 240 on and see what happens. So the tripod is going to go about here. I'm going to take the pack off. It's getting heavy. The ground is really, really soft and yucky. So I've got this plastic, so I can lay this on the plastic. Here's my other viewfinder. I guess I got to recycle that. I think I need to wait for the sun to come over more. Out here. I've got the 4x5 back on. The sun is really warm. Make sure the front standard is centered. And it is. Hey, this is the Nikkor 240. I also use this on 8x10. It covers 8x10 adequately. But I'm shooting 4x5, so I've got lots of coverage in case I need to play around with the standards. That probably won't, being in nature, so there's no real geometric lines to deal with. So that just makes it easier. Yeah, I've got a lot of bellow sag, but I have this little tab here that I can pull and hook, so it'll take care of that. So horizontal, 240 on, so I've got to come forward a bit. I need to come up a bit. Okay, just going to level the camera, and it's almost level. I'm not going to worry about the front and the back not being vertical. Dealing with all these wild lines in nature, so I'll just leave it as is. And again, I apologize if I'm rubbing this mic too much. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to critically focus with my loop. First cloud I've seen. Do not want clouds in this. It's going to ruin the whole effect. It'll be okay. It's lots of blue sky. I decided to put the cable release in because I usually forget all about it. Hey, banging the microphone. Sorry. Yeah, it sure got dark. Oh no. So what I'm doing is I'm focusing on that far branch that looks like a face. I'm probably just banging it. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, so it's framed. The bottom is about there, side, and the top. I've focused on the sort of face-like feature here, and I want this to go out of focus. So I'm going to be using a wide aperture. How wide? I don't know. I probably should go into the dark cloth and just check. But even if I shoot wide open, I'm sure I'm fine. I want really shallow depth of field, so your eye is drawn to that face-like feature in the back. Probably shoot around maybe f8, which is one stop down. But we lost the sun right now, so I'm just gonna wait. As soon as that sun pops out, I'm gonna check and see if we're good to go. I want to have that moss glowing. If it's not glowing, then I've got to wait for the sun to move over a little bit more. And while we're waiting, yes, I did mention that I'm using Fomapan film. I feel like I've got something else. Hang on. An FQ25. Wow. Sun's coming out. I'm going to just check it. Oh, it's looking better. Also have to keep an eye on the sun, right? I don't want it hitting the lens. So I'm going to set my meter to EI 200. And I'm going to take my meter reading here. And that's probably where I'm going to base the exposure. So let's take a reading of the tree. The base is 15th at f8.5. So I'm going to put that on zone 3. I want that to be really dark. So 15th of a second at f8.5. I'm going to leave the aperture at 8.5. So 5, 4, 3. Ooh. So 60th of a second at f8.5. Okay, so we're going to do the Foma first. We have the sun hitting the camera. No, we don't. I gotta get moving here before the sun's hitting the camera. Okay. And I will shoot a backup. Rock the shutter out with the slide. Boom. Oh, it's weird working with fast shutter speeds. Okay. Ugh. Ugh. All right. Wow. Sorry, you guys, I didn't include you in the last bit. It was a bit on the hectic side. There's another tree over there I want to photograph, but I don't think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to come back tomorrow if the weather's good. Should be. And I'll probably come back with 8x10. Yeah. See you guys. Hey everybody. I'm in my darkroom and I'm going to mix up some of that Pyrocat HDC. Never ever used the HDC version. It's always been HD version. So I thought I'd give it a try and then compare the HD with the HDC just to see. I've heard that you can't tell any difference, but hey, if you can't tell any difference, that's great. And if that's the case, then once I've used up my Pyrocat HD, then I'll probably switch. The neat thing about it is you only need a catechol, phenidone, and ascorbic acid, and polypropylene. So I've got warmed it up. I've got 75 mils. Let's double check to see what the temperature's at. So should warm it up to about 50, and that's 5 grams. Smelly pyrocatechin. Mix that until it's thoroughly dissolved. Next is the 0.25 grams of phenidone. Yep, that's it. And 0.4 grams of ascorbic acid. That's it. That's it. Okay. Ingredients. Pyrocat HDC. Okay. Here's F key. No clue what I'm gonna get. Something.